Now, your tribe might be international,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be very focused in on size, demographics, how they would use your product or solution, all of those kinds of things that define who your ideal market is. You've heard the
Mm-hmm.
term ICP,
Yep.
okay? What we're talking about there is who's your ideal customer? What does he look like?
Mm-hmm.
So your first step in your research is
Mm-hmm.
not just dialing out to people, it's saying the product. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of a thing called Bell's palsy and it's messing with my mouth.
No, 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 no.
So if I'm not coming through clearly, please
It's
stop me and I'll go back.
it's 100% clear. Please be comfortable.
Okay. So when you define who your ideal customer is, that's where your research starts.
Hmm.
And then you define why is that person your ideal customer. And the first place to look
Hmm.
is the people that have already bought from you.
Hmm.
Okay. So look at them and say, okay, what makes them your customer?
Got it. So,
What
yeah.
is special about them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually go and ask them. And that's a very good question to ask is to say, you've bought our product, you're using our product. Why? What
Oh.
does it do for you? Okay.
Hmm.
And then you go and look internationally or locally for people that look the same as them.
Got
Start
it.
there. All
Got
right.
it.
Start there. I'll
Got
give
it.
you a case study for you. When I
Perfect.
joined the
Hmm.
printing industry in 1984, before you were born,
Hmm.
um, we we were doing printing. There was before photocopiers, all right?
Hmm.
Before laser printers.
Hmm.
I mean, what's a photocopier? That hasn't existed for 20 years.
Hmm.
Before laser printers. And our target market was training companies.
Okay.
So I was told by my boss, go and look for training companies in Johannesburg. And that's what I did. And I
Hmm.
built a very nice, successful business there. Then I looked outside of that and I said, who else uses manuals, books, these things?
Hmm.
Who else uses these things?
Yeah.
And I came up with software companies did in those days. They don't do it anymore because nowadays your manual's printed in fact, it's online. You go fetch it online. So then I went to software companies because they had the same need.
Hmm.
And I built a very nice business out of software companies. The
Got
point
it.
that I'm trying to
Got
make
it.
here is go find those people that need what you sell. And
Mm-hmm.
the quickest way to figure that out is to see who's already bought and why.
Perfect. So,
Okay. And
as
then
far,
you
hmm,
expand from that.
got it. As far as I've understood, please correct me if I'm wrong, that it's very important for you as an SDR to identify the ideal customer profile before you're even about to start selling. So that gives you slight unfair advantage to who you are pitching, like what sort of product are you pitching and how would you pitch that? So the first step would be to identify the right customer profile.
Correct.
Perfect,
You
perfect.
see, a lot of us go out shotgunning. We want to sell to
Hmm.
everybody
Hmm.
because we're
Yeah.
enthusiastic. We've got a great product.
Yeah.
We believe in our product. We want to sell to everybody.
Yeah. Good.
Everybody's never, you never have a saturated market. Never. What you do have is people that will buy now, people
Mm-hmm.
that are in your tribe, people that understand what you do, and people that need what you sell. You can make 1,000 phone
Hmm.
calls and make no sales, or you can make 100 phone calls and make 20. Your choice.
That was a big one. That was a big one. Let me just write it down. So it's like the quality over quantity game.
Exactly
Perfect.
right.
Perfect.
Exactly
So
right.
yeah, so you have John, you have trained and worked with a lot of salespeople over the years. So when you think about the SDRs, other than the identifying the ideal customer profile, when you think about the SDRs or account executives who consistently perform well, not just one good quarter or but year full of sales, what do they do or they tend to have in very common among them?
Discipline.
Hmm.
Discipline.
Discipline.
Setting reasonable targets and following a process
Mm-hmm.
and doing it consistently.
So
Okay.
hmm,
So the things we taught through the Coursera stuff
hmm,
is a process.
yeah,
Most salespeople, myself included, by the way, get lazy.
me too.
We
Me
get a
too.
couple of easy deals, and we think it's always going to be like that. It's never going to be like that. It's discipline.
Perfect. I can resonate with
Um,
that.
so what I see happens also is people get scared,
Hmm.
so they fall into what we call analysis paralysis.
Hmm.
All right. So you spend all your time researching your customers, but you never speak to them.
Hmm. So become more
Okay.
like, yeah, you become more like a researcher than a sales representative.
Exactly right. You need about for your call, your initial call to be worthwhile, you
Hmm.
need about a half an hour's research per call,
Hmm.
but no more than a half an hour. Because what you're looking for is a conversation starter.
Hmm.
All right. Remember, you've done your research, you know they fit into your ICP. All right. You've got a feel for what their problems are likely to be because you've spoken to your existing customers. All
Got
right.
it.
You can start your conversation by saying, a lot of my customers tell me this. Is this true for you?
Hmm.
As an example.
Hmm.
Okay. But then it's about discipline. It's about making your 20. I'm not saying make 100 calls a day. That's just silly
Hmm.
because then your quality goes to heck.
Yeah.
But if you can make 20 solid calls a day, solid calls
Hmm.
every day,
Hmm.
you're going to win. Okay. Enthusiasm, positivity, process, curiosity, caring, all of those things will get you the conversations you need. Understand, though, you're phoning from Karachi, you're
Hmm.
phoning into the USA, you're phoning into Australia, you're phoning into India. Um, it's not going to be easy,
Hmm.
but if you do
Indeed.
your research, it's going to be easier.
Perfect. So enthusiasm, process, curiosity, and creativity.
Correct. And
Perfect.
caring,
Perfect. Caring. Like,
caring.
yeah. Caring. Because
Okay.
yeah, I remember from caring, one of your videos had a proper video on the sales process, the buyer's journey. So I noticed that you put a lot of emphasis on the after sales process, that there should be a step, there should be a process after the sales is done, because then the client or the prospect would feel more like taken care of, that we sell our product, we sold our service, and now we are on the board, we are here with him or her, and we are guiding him or her throughout his journey. And that adds like enormously good amount of engagement when it comes to the prospects or clients with the company. So I can resonate with that you mentioned, taking care of your people as well. So just to sum up this, you said consistency is one of those factors that you have saw in common among the top performing SDRs or account executives.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Look, you can once you've got that,
Hmm.
all right. Once that's in place and you're disciplined and consistent about how you do stuff,
Hmm.
all right, then you grow up, you grow from that because that provides your foundation, and then
Hmm.
you grow from that. So what do the top guys do? They're always
Hmm.
looking to inform their customers, teach them something they didn't know
Hmm.
about themselves. They're looking to um, contextualize
Hmm.
things for them. In other words,
So sort of
make it
consultation.
relevant. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And the last thing is they're comfortable talking about money. All right.
That's a big one.
It's weird. You know, you and
Hmm.
I go out every day. We spend money on coffee, on
Yeah.
breakfast, on toilet paper, on all kinds of things. We never expect to walk into a shop and walk
Hmm.
out without paying for our stuff. And yet, when it's time for us to sell,
Hmm.
we get all embarrassed about asking for the money.
Got it. Because I remember when I started as an SDR, it was a time when the process is done. I've prospected the client. We have like enough conversation. We have been on the phone for the last 40, 45 minutes. I've explained all the services and everything to him. But when it comes to me saying about the payment, about making him pay for the service, for the product that we are offering, I just went into this like, no, this isn't something right. He shouldn't pay for it, or I should should feel bad. And I feel like,
Exactly right.
that's not something good as an SDR to have, because at that point, I'm not just representing myself or my company, but I'm just representing that whole bunch of services, those features, those benefits that I'm bringing onto the table. So I should be able to ask for money for it and be confident about it. As you told in one of your trainings that you should be proud of what you're selling. You should be proud because you're making the economy works. You're selling shares stuff from one point, you're shipping it to another point, and you're making money for both parties. So it was really a pin, like an introspective moment for me, because I realized that, yeah, John is talking about me, because I'm somebody who's always very hesitant to ask for money, to ask for payment from the clients when it comes to the final stage of the call or the meeting. So yeah, just took that as a note. Yeah, perfect. Hmm.
Look,
Perfect.
if you've done everything else right, if you
Hmm.
followed your process, you've walked your customer through
Hmm.
his buyer's journey, he's expecting to pay. He's expecting to pay. Make it easy for him.
Oh,
Okay,
got it.
make it
Got it.
easy.
Got it. So you should feel like,
If you
yeah.
said,
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
all right, so what I used to do is what I used to call the assumption close. It's a very fancy name, but what it essentially says is, okay, so when would you like to? I know that you'd like to start using this as soon as possible. How
Hmm.
does next week Monday work for you, or would you prefer Tuesday? Okay,
Hmm.
that kind of thing, or you work backwards from if you've worked out the project plan, right? And the guy says,
Hmm.
I want to go live on the 1st of January.
Hmm.
You say, well, then, if you want to go live on the 1st of January, I need your purchase order by the 12th of December.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you can give me your purchase order by the 12th of December, I can make sure you're up and running by the 1st of January. It's those kinds of techniques where you're essentially assuming they're going to buy.
Hmm.
Um, and,
Yeah,
and,
in sales
and
context, we can call them a close-ended questions.
yeah,
Hmm.
or you work backwards from a defined endpoint.
Got it.
The point I'm trying to make here is
Hmm.
if you've done everything else right,
Hmm.
if you've done everything else right, and your buyer is at that point where it's now, let's do this thing,
Hmm.
then make it easy for him.
Got
So
it. Got it.
fantastic, let's do it. All I need from you is a purchase order. All I need from you is a deposit. All I need from you is your credit card details, whatever it is, and we can get this thing going. But make it easy. You've earned the right.
Got it. Got it. So
I hope
as
that's helpful.
hmm. Yeah, pretty much, because I remember there's sometimes the payment process, or sometimes the payment cycle, as we say, after the sales is made, is so hectic, is so like steps oriented, that and then the deal is done. The clients sometimes feel like, yeah, I'm just getting tired of it. There's so many steps in the payment. So we should try to make it like a one step or maximum two-step process for the client to pay for the thing or the service that they are having a call with us for. And second is that we should be able to ask for it. It all boils down to that,
Yeah.
that we should be able to ask for paying for that service. So if you don't mind me asking, John, how did you personally get into sales? And how did the Sales Institute of Africa come to be? I'm always curious about how people who teach sales actually found their way into it.
Mm. All right. So I didn't always look like this. All right. The face you have at
Hey, you're
18
quite
is
handsome, by
genetics.
the
The
way.
face you
Even at this stage, you're
oh,
quite
thank you,
handsome.
thank you. You're lying, but thank you. So um, the face you have at 18 is genetics. The face you have at 45 is your own fault.
Oh.
The I was gregarious. I was able to talk easily. I People found me charming, and somebody said you should be in sales, so I went for it. It was purely by
Mm.
accident, and I thought I could live on my charm and my good looks alone. I very quickly discovered that that was not true, but I persevered, and then I got a break around 1985. I
Hmm.
got an opportunity to work at that printing company I was talking about.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I was sent on a proper sales training course with Dale Carnegie, as it happens. And then the lights came on.
Got it.
Okay.
So it was
Um,
an accidental move.
it absolutely accidental. But then I developed a curiosity for sales and the
Hmm.
art of sales. So I used to do a sales training course on average once every 18 months, once every 2 years. Not because there was anything new to learn, but often there was stuff that I'd forgotten or had stopped doing or I was undisciplined
Hmm.
about, and I was reminded and then reboosted. But again, I became curious. Around 2000, I changed careers. I moved from printing
Hmm.
into IT
All right.
at the age of 42, where people said I couldn't do that, and I did it anyway.
Yeah. You're the motivation
And
guy.
that's when I learned. So that's when I learned about complex sales. In the
Hmm.
printing industry, you could
Hmm.
expect to get an order once a day, sometimes two orders in a day. When you move into the IT industry, if you get an order once every 6 months, that's a lot.
Hmm. That's a long sales
Because I
cycle.
wasn't, I was selling software, right? And this we're
Hmm.
talking
Hmm.
pre cloud,
Yeah.
so pre software as a service.
Hmm.
So I was doing
Hmm.
maybe 20 deals a year.
Hmm.
No, I'm lying. Less than that. 6 deals a year. All
Hmm.
right.
Hmm.
But they were big numbers. I mean, my biggest deal was 3 million US dollars. All
Whoa.
right. And I did one deal that was 500,000 South African Rand, which is significant in dollars as well. I worked on that one with some friends, but with a group. We were part of a team. Um, and that's when
Hmm.
my career kickstarted. And then when I retired from that in 2013, I went into all sorts of other things. I've sold pretty much anything, by the way, including
Hmm.
encyclopedias. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
You mentioned in one of your videos that
then
you also sold encyclopedias at some point.
correct.
Yeah.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah.
That was when I was still learning.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I did
It's-
right out of it.
Yeah.
It's good for me. And it taught me a lot of discipline. Okay. So yeah. But it's boring. Once you've done it once,
Hmm.
it gets intellectually boring because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
I can understand.
Um, and then in COVID, I decided that it was time. I was getting old now, and it was
Hmm.
time for me to start teaching, showing what I could
Hmm.
do, showing people what I'd learned, and that's when I went into training. But my background is sales. It's what
Hmm.
I've done all my life since I was 17.
That's really that you got into sales by an accident, but you eventually found your way out. That this is the thing that I'm going to do for the next 20 or 30 years of my life.
I never decided that at any time. It just happened.
Got it.
So,
As I somewhat
um,
yeah, I somewhat shared a similar pattern or story like you because I remember I started my career back in 2021. I started as a
yeah,
content writer for one of a sports company. It was a big sports company, so I just got that opportunity by referral. So it was a very good opportunity at that time for me. There was a corona, everything was shut down, and I had a good amount of money just getting into my wallet at that point. So it was a very good opportunity. But then I realized that I am someone who is into designing something, like designing a system or a product or a website or anything that keeps people interested, that keeps people hooked. Like once you're in there, then you're just there, you're just observing the patterns or design that the designer has made. So I get into web design and then eventually made my way up to becoming a product designer in 2 or 3 years. But there was a time in July 2024 when I had this intuition or I have this Buddha like enlightenment moment of me, and I realized that I'm not quite good at it anymore, but I'm more of a conversation person. I love talking to people. I love telling stories. I love just building a narrative, building a perspective around a website or a product that I'm about to talk to somebody. So that's when I decided to get into sale. I know nothing about sales at that point. So I enrolled myself. I remember there was a sales boot camp by higher levels. It was a very good sales boot camp. So I enrolled myself into it, got my first job again as an SDR by a referral. And from that point onward, it was always in me that I came from a point where mostly there are not a lot of SDRs around me. Like the norm here is for the IT, for AI, for machine learning, for these kind of subjects. You'll find a lot of people surrounding me. But when it comes to the sales, specifically the tech sales or corporate sales, they're probably like a 1 or 2% out of every 1,000 people. So it was no one to guide me or show me the path. But yes, eventually I made it to this point. And honestly, I have this intuition like you somewhat that I love teaching. I love just education, just talking about particular things to the people. And that just keeps me going and always putting me in a position that, yes, I need to learn this. I need to improve this. I need to get done with this, get done with that. So I am justifying my role as an SDR or account executive while also making sure that I'm fulfilling my responsibilities.
Okay. Listen, I love your content. You captured most of what I was trying to teach, so I'm quite proud of you for that.
Thank you so much.
Um, and your insight is useful. And curiosity and passion will take
Hmm,
you a lot of places that you wouldn't expect.
exactly.
All right, have some fun with that. Are we done here, my friend? Is there anything else I can do for you?
Sure, sure, sure. I just totally, I'm just done with all the questions that I have on my mind. But just so before we knock off this interview, John, honestly, it was
Hmm.
incredibly helpful for me talking to you, just answering my queries and having you on the call. It was really a very good moment for me because I remember like back a few months or a few days ago, I saw you on screen teaching me, and now you're on a call with me. It's really an honorful moment for me. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for everything that you shared on the call. And I'll reflect on this and everything you have said during our meeting, and I'll put into action definitely. And if there's ever a time that I can support or contribute to your institute, to your company, I would love to. I would love to contribute in any particular way that you need my help for. So just before we knock off, is there any piece of advice or any single thing that you want me to know, or you would advise me as an SDR or an account executive to be? I would love to have this, please.
I'm going to sum it up. I'm going
Yeah,
to sum up what I've already said
sure, sure.
because sales is not, it's a human thing.
Mm,
It's a human thing. And AI and all the tools in the world will help you do your job better.
got
But
it.
think of it as your personal assistant, not instead of. If your personal assistant is writing your emails, you will fail. If your personal assistant is talking to your customers, you will fail over time because it's a human thing.
Mm, got it.
We humans strive for connection.
Mm,
We crave connection. Okay, be that human. Be that person that talks to people.
got it.
Add value that only humans can add.
Got
Use your tools to make you better, but never let them replace you.
got it. Got it.
That's it. Now, your tribe might be international,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be very focused in on size, demographics, how they would use your product or solution, all of those kinds of things that define who your ideal market is. You've heard the
Mm.
term ICP,
Yep.
okay? Or what we're talking about there is who's your ideal customer? What does he look like?
Hmm.
So your first step in your research is
Mm-hmm.
not just dialing out to people, it's saying the product. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of a thing called Bell's palsy, and it's messing with my mouth.
No, 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 no.
So if I'm not coming through clearly, please stop me and I'll go back.
It's 100% clear. Please be comfortable.
Okay. So when you define who your ideal customer is, that's where your research starts.
Hmm.
And then you define why is that person your ideal customer. And the first place to look
Hmm.
is the people that have already bought from you.
Hmm.
Okay. So look at them and say, okay, what makes them your customer?
Got it.
What is what
Yeah.
is special about them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually go and ask them. And that's a really good question to ask, is to say, you've bought our product, you're using our product. Why? What
Oh.
does it do for you? Okay.
Mm.
And then you go and look internationally or locally for people that look the same as them.
Got
Start
it.
there. All
Got
right.
it.
Start there. I'll
Got
give
it.
you a case study for you. When I
Perfect.
joined the
Mm.
printing industry in 1984, before you were born,
Mm.
um, we we were doing printing. There was before photocopiers, all right?
Mm.
Before laser printers.
Mm.
I mean, what's a photocopier? That hasn't existed for 20 years.
Mm.
Before laser printers. And our target market was training companies.
Okay.
So I was told by my boss, go and look for training companies in Johannesburg. And that's what I did. And I
Mm.
built a very nice, successful business there. Then I looked outside of that and I said, who else uses manuals, books, these things?
Mm.
Who else uses these things?
Yeah.
And I came up with software companies did in those days. They don't do it anymore because nowadays your manual's printed in fact, it's online. You go fetch it online. So then I went to software companies because they had the same need.
Mm.
And I built a very nice business out of software companies. The
Got
point
it.
that I'm trying to
Got
make
it.
here is go